Good morning and happy Sunday, you guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. So I felt very inclined to do this video in response to something that happened last night, that I noticed last night. Deep breath, deep breath. So I was hanging out with a friend. We're chilling, vibing, right? And then I go and check my email, and I get this email from YouTube. And I felt so bad. I felt so bad when I read the email, right? But then I thought about it, and it started to make sense to me. And I want to talk about my thoughts and my feelings, my reactions to YouTube deleting my video on the dream that I had in 2019, right? I made a video regarding a dream that I had about my dad. Some of you guys have saw it. I would like to think most of you who are watching this video probably have seen that video. It went viral. I didn't think that it would go viral. Actually, it took a while for it to go viral. It didn't really go viral until I think this year, right? Just out of the blue. So I didn't really think anything of it. But apparently it's a big deal. Big enough so that YouTube brought it to my attention and said that my content violated YouTube's community guidelines. I'm like, oh my gosh. But it's no surprise, right? Because I know that I can talk about some sexually, quote unquote, inappropriate or alternative lifestyles and behaviors that just the general public kind of turns their nose up at. They're like, ew, disgusting. In my mind, it isn't disgusting. I mean, in my mind, it is what it is, right? So I get it. You know, like I understand that, you know, YouTube wants to be this place that is, I guess, family friendly and, you know, welcoming of different people from different backgrounds and respectful of people's opinions. And I think for YouTube, it can be difficult on their part to be able to support content creators like myself, where it's very open-minded and just more fluid in my beliefs and my attitudes as it relates to sexuality. And I like to express that in my videos. But at the same time, they also want to create a community and support the viewers as well, right? And respect their attitudes and their beliefs or their insecurities and discomfort and being exposed to certain videos. And my thinking is, well, if you don't like it, why click on it and watch it, right? You don't have to watch the video. And a lot of my videos, I'm not gonna say all. I don't even know if it's most, but I would say a good number of my videos, I make it clear that it's not appropriate for kids. And when I look at the stats, like I check my stats on my channel, no one under the age of 18 and under watches my videos. Everybody is of age who watches my videos. It actually says, it breaks it down by age group. Nobody under the age of 18 watches my videos. I'm like, they shouldn't be watching my videos. Why will they have an interest in watching my videos? Like, I feel like my videos reveal content that is very mature, sophisticated. It's just for a responsible and mature crowd to be able to discuss on an intellectual level, right? Not on a perverse level. But I get it. Some people may see some of my videos and hear what I'm talking about, and they just may have a different kind of reaction to it. So I'm going to read you guys the email that I received from YouTube that I found to be very alarming. I was just like, oh my gosh, am I in trouble? It says, hi Danny's World, our team has reviewed your content and unfortunately we think it violates our community guidelines. We removed the following content from YouTube. So it has the title of the video, which I am not going to read. But it is a video that, you know, regarding a dream that I had about my dad. Then it goes on to say, we know that this might be disappointing. I'm like, oh, YouTube is empathizing with chastising me, right? Like, I'm being chastised because they clearly deleted one of my videos that went viral. And not only did it go viral this year, but it was monetized, like, as we were running on the video, I was getting money from it. I mean, not like a significant amount, but it was just like to see, because I check my stats, right? And I check to see which videos are producing what kind of revenue. And I noticed like that video was high up in the rankings. So I'm just like, okay, it's monetized, so it can't be that bad, right? But I guess enough people went to YouTube and they reported my video and they just felt it was not appropriate. And I do have mixed feelings about that, which I am going to share here in this video. So, continuing, they say, we know that this might be disappointing, but it's important to us that YouTube is a safe place for all, which, like I already said, I know that's very difficult to maintain that, right? You can't please everybody. You can't please the content creators and people from different countries, backgrounds, religious beliefs, right? Like all in one space. Something is going to have to compromise, right? And here it is. It's my video. Like, I had to make the compromise. Well, they made it for me, I guess. It says, if content breaks our rules, we remove it. If you think we made a mistake, you can appeal and we will take another look. Keep reading for more details. So, of course I appealed it. I felt like they had a valid point, but even though they have a valid point that I really can't dispute or argue, I feel like I just want to share my perspective. Like, not necessarily in a rebuttal, but maybe so, I guess. Like, to speak to my own defense, you know. But I think that they already understand, maybe if they've seen my other videos, I don't know, because I've already kind of addressed my response to that video and people's comments. People's brutal comments that were left on that video judging me, especially from the Christian community. I'm just like, who are y'all to judge me? But okay. So I made it pretty much very clear like where I was coming from and my intent. So it says, it goes on to say how my content violated the policy. And they go to say, graphic sexual content that is meant to be sexually gratifying is not allowed on YouTube. That's the first sentence, right? And then they go on to give like more possible reasons why it was removed. So I had to think. I'm like, I know, I can remember when I made this video back in 2019. I was living in Los Angeles. And I did not make the video to be sexually gratifying. I made it because, number one, and I shared this, right? I shared this dream in a video with the public because, and especially on YouTube, because I felt YouTube has made me feel invited and, like they say, a safe place, right? So I felt very comfortable. I felt like YouTube is like a little family, right? It's a family in and of itself, and I felt that support coming from my viewers. So I felt like I could post a video that may trigger a certain reaction, but the people who were commenting, especially after watching the video and hearing that I politely asked people to not berate me and attack me and judge me and call me names, that I figured they would be sensitive to that request and be able to have an intellectual conversation, which there were some great, really great comments left on the video. And I'm like, I love this. I like that we can discuss like difficult issues like this or taboo subjects in a very mature way without judging, right? Because you guys know, within the field in which I work and I study, psychology, we talk about and we are exposed to all kinds of stuff, right? So for me, it doesn't seem that taboo or jarring, but I get it. A lot of you guys just are very maybe inhibited and you don't like to expose your deep secrets and taboo things. You just kind of keep it to yourself. And that was one of the most commented kind of perspectives, saying that, oh, you should have kept this to yourself because this is gross. This is ill. This is. A lot of people, like religious people, were saying, oh, you need Jesus. You need to pray. You need to go to see a spiritual guide so they can cast all the demons out of you because you're just so bad. And I'm just like, I know I'm not bad, so I didn't really necessarily feel offended or take those comments to heart because I know who I am and I know the person I am. And I know that it's a dream, and the way I interpret the dream, it's just different than how most people saw the dream, right? So that's, I think, my interpretation of the dream, and probably Freud's interpretation. If Freud was still alive, we could have a discussion on this, and it wouldn't be judgmental, right? It would be more insightful and respectful. And when I submitted my appeal, I actually talked about that. I said that I didn't intend for the dream to be sexually gratifying or humiliating towards anyone, including myself. I shared the dream as a means to stimulate conversation, respectful conversation amongst people who are educated, like people who are able to articulate themselves, right, and in a respectful way, insightful way, right? Like insightful meaning you don't just jump to conclusions and assume that, oh, I'm possessed with evil spirits. You know, like you have a more of an analytical approach to to have it, like to interpreting the dream, or you know, and like see it through a psychological lens, not really trying to demonize me in that way. And so that's what my intent was, and I thought that I could build upon that in the comment section, but it took a turn. And to speak on my mixed feelings in response to the comments that were left and even my video being deleted, yes, initially I would say on one hand I was shocked and I felt like it was alarming, right, to get this email kind of unexpectedly, because I had a great day yesterday, right? And I'm just like, this is like a bummer. I had a great day yesterday, and to get this email, yeah, I felt, you know, it felt very alarming and, like they say, disappointing, discouraging, because I'm just like, I mean, it's a video that I made, but I still have a copy of the video, so it's not like the video it disappeared, like it's just vanished from the world, like, and it's still in my mind, right? So it's not something that, oh, I just want to get rid of the thought of the video, or no, it's still in my mind. I could recreate the video, even if I didn't have a copy of it, right? I can recreate the same video. I think the video was only, what, it had to have been, I think, less than 15 minutes. I don't think it was that long, because I know I was like on my way to a dentist appointment. So, and I'm willing to have a discussion about it. I've had people reach out to me and say, you know what, I saw your video, and in response to your video, I would like to interview you. And for me, I guess it depends on the show in which I'm being interviewed. I really don't do radio interviews. I may do a television interview. It just depends on the host, right? Because I need people to, if they're going to interview me, come at a certain angle that is respectful and curious, inquisitive, but not like, who are you to judge me, right? Because I think it does strike something in me when people feel the need to judge, but at the same time, I've gotten so many comments left on that video from people judging that I just kind of like said whatever. Like, my life still goes on, as you guys can see. Like, I still made more videos on different things. I went to the zoo, to the museum. So I just felt like I can care less. But yeah, I just feel like people, they have opinions, but they don't know how to express their opinions. So that pretty much is the problem. Like, even someone just commented now, you know, like speaking from a very judgmental perspective, and I feel like that doesn't add to the conversation. Like, it's like you're trying to manipulate or control a situation, control my narrative on something, but that doesn't change what happened, right? Like, so coming at it from a judgmental perspective, I'm like, oh, you're evil and you're entertaining evil, and it's just like, yes, that serves a purpose in doing that, because you're trying to manipulate what I have to say about it, right? And you somehow think that you can change the dream from happening. Like, you can just make it so that I don't have those kinds of dreams, which honestly, I haven't had a dream like that. Like, that was 2019. That was, I think, only one time that I had a dream like that concerning my dad. But even beyond that, I just feel like it doesn't change anything. Like, I'm still who I am, and I do still have, like, my BDSM fetishes are just what they are, right? And this email kind of spoke to that, saying, like, humiliating fetishes. And so I was inclined to look at some more videos on YouTube, and I'm just like, but I know that YouTube allows BDSM videos. And so I typed it in, even like certain, buzzwords or keywords, and as it relates to the BDSM community, I typed in BDSM, daddy, dom, but I realized certain words, though, they don't allow, like baby girl or daddy dom, because they think that it's like along the lines of molestation. They don't really understand that it's between two consenting adults. It's a psychological dynamic that is kind of played out in real play, and sometimes it's, for real play, right? And so they don't really understand that. I think YouTube really, I don't think it has progressed to be a platform that is able to incorporate or support, like, content creators like myself, who are just have open minds, as it relates to certain things. And people are quick to judge what they don't quite understand or they disagree with, right? But we don't have to agree on everything. That's not going to change my beliefs. But it also motivated me too to just think more outside of the box and be more creative, because in seeing people, like, there are millions of videos related to BDSM, people getting spanked, people talking about all kinds of alternative BDSM sexual activities that they have done, even some on camera, on videos, on YouTube. They've talked about incest. Like, and they talked about it in a way where they were open-minded, not being judgmental towards it. So I just find it interesting that my video got deleted, but I was thinking, like, okay, is this a race card kind of situation, right? And I'm a kind of person, I don't like pulling a race card. I'm just like, no, I wouldn't say it's a race card, because when I think back to the video, I'm just like, okay, their reasons are valid, right, for deleting my video. I mean, it was graphic the way I described in detail, but that's just the kind of writer I am. So from an artistic perspective, which they said, we review educational, documentary, artistic, and scientific content on a case-by-case basis. So they were giving me an opportunity to kind of make a claim for why my video should remain on YouTube. I'm like, first of all, it's just me expressing myself. And my intent was not to sexually gratify anyone or humiliate anyone or expose anything that is humiliating, I guess. Even though, yes, I said that the dream made me feel uncomfortable, and some people's like, well, you don't look like you're uncomfortable. I think I do a really great job at masking my anxiety. Like, I do a really good job at it. But people who can read body language very well and energy very well will know that I felt uncomfortable. Like, it was very clear, just the way I'm speaking. But yeah, I think I do a pretty good job, for obvious reasons, because that's just what I do as related to, like, my profession and talking to people and hearing difficult stories and having to, address certain things. And I think that's what makes me a very great therapist, because, according to the humanistic theory, a great therapist knows how to build rapport, and in doing so, you have to have a non-judgmental attitude, right, towards the client's story, no matter what they say. But I guess there are limits to that as well, right? But it's still like, if you want them to open up, even talking about things that are morally inappropriate or illegal, you know, you still have to kind of create a safe space for them to do so. So I feel like I got that down pat, because I don't take the stance of judgmentalism. I just don't. But I like that they gave me a warning, and they were nice about it. And even though I felt a little bit disappointed or discouraged by them removing my video, I also kind of feel good about it too. I feel like it's a relief. It's kind of a relief, because I think I was leaning towards deleting the video, considering all of the negative responses and how, you know, when you get comments on videos, you get notifications, and it was just annoying at some point to just, you know, glance over the comments and notifications and to see just people's perspective. So that at one point did get a little bit annoying. But like I said, like, I know how to tune certain things out too. So I'm just like, oh, whatever. That's your take. You're entitled to your opinion, and I kept it moving. But I think that I feel good about them deleting the video, because I feel like they're protecting me. And I'm not going to go into too much detail on how I think they're protecting me. But I think it should be pretty clear. Like, they're protecting me on many different levels. So that's the way I look at it, right? That's the way, you know, I conceptualize this whole ordeal. But I'm okay. You know, I feel like like I said, it challenges me to kind of think more outside the box, be more creative and artistic in my delivery on certain triggering topics, especially when I'm self-disclosing, which I feel like there are a lot of things that I just don't bring to social media. There's so much about me that you guys don't know. So sharing a dream, one dream that I had, it was just, I guess I did kind of go out on a limb with that. I was just like, okay, but it, like I said, for me, it's the norm. Like, within my profession, like, that's not something frowned upon. It's actually something that's praised, to, you know, have insight, to be able to express oneself, you know, to be able to reflect and talk about different things, right? To not be inhibited. That's actually rewarded, right? So I get it. People say, well, there's a certain place for that. And granted, there is a community online called FetLife, which I have joined in the past, but it just wasn't for me, because I don't like the fact that just people are naked on the site, right? And like, it just seems like a porn site for me, like a porn social networking site, and I'm not really into porn. That's not my thing. I like to have stimulating intellectual conversations that go beyond judgment. I mean, you can express your opinion, I think, on something without trying to ridicule someone or demonize that person, especially when you don't know them. So you're just going based off of one video that person shared. Like, I know who I am, and that's just some people's interpretation, how they wanted to frame it, which I felt a lot of it was just them projecting as well, like revealing a lot about themselves. So I don't feel like I want to be a part of FetLife, because no, it's just not for me. Like, I get turned off by seeing a whole bunch of just like, I don't want to see your private parts. Like, I don't know you, right? But I'm open to like having discussions. So I think that's just a different form of intimacy. Some people, their way of building intimacy is just taking off your clothes and just like, hi, look at me. And it can be art. So I feel like maybe if it was shown in a unique way, in a creative way, like a person's nudity, then maybe, you know, I know how to appreciate like a naked man, a naked woman in an art form. And I think the same kind of goes for my video and what YouTube was speaking to. Like, if it was done in an artistic, creative way, perhaps it wouldn't have got deleted. But maybe I wasn't artistic enough. I just kind of came and put it out there. But honestly, the time that my video was up and the fact that it went viral this year, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the interaction that I had with people, the conversation. A lot of people subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like, when I say my YouTube subscriber count went up drastically, and it's continuing to go up, I'm like, okay, where are these people coming from? Apparently y'all like it. A good number of you guys like it, but you know, YouTube isn't the place, I think, for that. So I'm respectful of that. And I do want to take this time to apologize to YouTube because, you know, I felt like I got in trouble. I don't like being in trouble. And that kind of ties into like my personality and my submissive side, right? And going back to my childhood, like, my mom didn't play the radio. So I think had I gave an interpretation as part of that video, then it would have been more educational. And they would have clearly been able to see my intent. But the way it was presented was just like, okay, here's a dream, here's a fantasy, and I'm like getting off on it because I'm smiling. But do you guys notice I smile in all of my videos? And I remember when I was a little girl growing up and as a teenager, right? I remember being very shy and introverted. That was just my personality. So y'all probably don't believe it because I've outgrown that. And I think also vlogging has helped me to outgrow my shyness. But I remember one of my older sisters, I would talk to her about it, and I would say that I think I have everything down pat. Like, I'm a very smart woman, and I've always done well in school, and I know that I've always had a bright future ahead of me. But I remember disclosing to her that I feel subconscious about public speaking, and I just don't feel comfortable when I do presentations in school. And the advice that she gave me was smile. So I took her advice, and it has worked. It has worked, but some of you guys have no idea, like, what's really happening, you know what I'm saying, in my body when I'm discussing these very difficult topics. Even this video, I feel, is somewhat difficult, but it's also freeing for me to be transparent. And it's not intended to harm anyone. That's never my intent. So, thanks, YouTube. Thanks for deleting my video. And I appreciate just the opportunity to have a YouTube channel and to create, share parts of my life with people. And I'm looking forward to publishing my book. There's this one person on this video keeps coming back and forth. Y'all be so confused. You're welcome to say hello. I think people just sometimes don't know what to say or how to interact because they themselves feel very uncomfortable, but it's okay. Now, I know some people, before I end this video, I'm going to say this. Like, I know some people had spoke to they acknowledged that, you know, we do need our own platform. There needs to be a platform, you know, where people could be able to talk about these kinds of things, right? BDSM and certain fetishes, you know, in a supportive way. And like I said, FetLife, I guess, supposed to be that platform, but I would get a lot of messages from men thinking that I was entertained or gratified by them showing me their penis. I'm just like, I don't want to see this. I don't. But on that note, I will catch you guys later. I'm curious to see what's next. Because I got my first warning, but I felt like they did it very gently, you know. And I agree. I agree. Maybe it was too much. So I'm not here to debate that. But I'll catch you guys later. I'm just gonna come back. I have a surprise to show you guys. But I'm gonna come back maybe in an hour, talk to you guys some more, or show you guys this treat that I have. But I'll catch you guys later. Love you guys. Oh, feel free to leave your comments below. I know a lot of you guys are gonna watch this video who saw that video, and you're gonna share what you think. I like to hear what you think about it. Catch you guys later.